So before you go looking for love, before you decide you need someone to complete you, try this. Sit with yourself. Really sit with yourself. Not with distractions, not with screens or noise or busyness, but just you and your own presence. And notice what comes up. Notice the discomfort, the restlessness, the voice that says you should be doing something more important. And then notice that voice is not you. It's just a thought, a habit, a pattern you learned somewhere along the way. Underneath all that noise, there's a silence. And in that silence, there's a kind of peace. Not the peace of having everything figured out, but the peace of not needing to. The peace of simply being alive, breathing in and out, existing in this moment without requiring it to be anything other than what it is. When you touch that peace, even for a moment, something in you relaxes. And from that relaxation, love becomes possible. Not the grasping, needy kind, but the kind that gives without keeping track. The kind that stays or goes based not on obligation, but on genuine care. And here's what's beautiful. When you find that peace in yourself, you start to recognize it in others. You can spot the ones who are also drinking from their own well, who don't need you to fix them or complete them. And when two such people meet, it's not about rescuing each other. It's about two whole beings choosing to walk alongside each other for a while, sharing what they have, learning from each other, growing together, but never losing themselves in the process. This is the great irony. The moment you stop needing love, you become capable of receiving it. The moment you stop chasing it, it finds you. Because you're no longer approaching people as a beggar, bowl outstretched, hoping they'll drop something into it. You're approaching them as someone who already has enough, who has something to offer, who can give freely, because giving doesn't diminish you. And people respond to that. They're drawn to it because it's so rare to meet someone who isn't constantly taking, who isn't draining energy, who isn't using the relationship to fill some bottomless need. So if you want to love and be loved, start here. Stop trying to earn it. Stop trying to prove you deserve it. Stop performing and pretending and contorting yourself into shapes you think others want. Instead, turn inward. Make peace with the person you find there. Not by fixing everything that's wrong, but by accepting that nothing needs fixing. You're not a project. You're not broken. You're not incomplete. You're a living, breathing expression of life itself. And that's enough. It's always been enough. From that place, love is not something you chase or something you earn. It's something you are. It flows from you naturally, like light from the sun. And whether others return it or not becomes less important. Because you're not giving in order to get. You're giving because giving is your nature. And in that giving, you discover something remarkable. You discover that you were never empty in the first place. You were always full. You were always loved. You just forgot for a while. And when you remember, when you really see it, everything changes. You stop begging for crumbs and realize you're already at the feast. You stop searching for someone to complete you and realize you were never half a person to begin with. You stop trying to earn love and simply become it. And from that becoming, from that overflowing, you meet others not as empty vessels hoping to be filled, but as rivers meeting rivers, each full from their own source, joining together not out of need, but out of the sheer joy of flowing together for a while. This is the love that doesn't fade when circumstances change. This is the love that doesn't turn bitter when expectations aren't met. This is the love that sees you at your absolute worst and doesn't turn away, because it was never based on your best behavior. It was based on the recognition that beneath all the masks, all the roles, all the stories you tell yourself, you are the same life, the same consciousness, the same being that moves through everything and everyone. And how can life stop loving itself? So here's my invitation to you. Stop looking for love out there. Stop trying to become worthy of it. Stop performing and pretending. Instead, go inward. Meet yourself fully. Accept yourself completely. Not because you're perfect, but because perfection was never required. And from that acceptance, from that peace, watch what happens. Watch how love begins to flow from you without effort. Watch how the right people appear in your life, not to save you, but to dance with you. Watch how life itself begins to feel like the embrace you've been seeking all along. The love you want is not out there waiting to be found. It's right here, in you, waiting to be recognized. And once you see it, once you really know it, you'll understand that you were never unloved, never alone, never incomplete. You were always held by something so vast, so generous, so utterly without conditions, that you couldn't see it because you were looking for something smaller, something you could grasp and control. But real love cannot be grasped. It can only be surrendered to. And in that surrender, you discover that you are it, you always were, and you always will be.